Everyone. I am sitting here just about ready to work out on Monday morning, and I got a few things around the house done, got my office a little bit cleaned up, which I'm super proud of. It's looking good in here, and I just wanted to tell you that I've been reading a personal development book by the Arbinger Institute called Leadership and Self-Deception. And I actually read the sister book to this several years ago, like 6 or 7 years ago, and I loved it, but I needed a refresher, and I highly encourage you guys to read this. The basis for this book is that too many times we put people into a box. And by putting them into a box, I'm not saying categorize them like, oh, they're a drunk, or oh, they're a bum, or oh, they're lazy. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that when we self-deceive ourselves and automatically we think, oh, I should go help that person. And then all of a sudden our mind starts saying, oh, but that's embarrassing. What if they don't want help? Or I don't even know them. Why would I volunteer to help? Or they can do it on their own, or things like that. We put ourselves in a box, we put them in a box, and we tell ourselves that we don't need to go act on the thought that came to our mind. So I know we do this a lot with our spouses, with our children, with people around us. And I feel like this is something for me, especially, that I needed to work on. But I know that there's probably several of you out there that are either struggling in our marriage, struggling with parenting, struggling with getting along with your coworkers, with your boss, things like that. So I wanted to share how much this book has been helping me and suggest that you give it a read. Another example is the guy in the book says that he's laying there asleep, him and his wife are asleep, the baby wakes up, he hears the baby crying, and he automatically thinks, well, my wife is so exhausted, she always is the one to get up with the baby. I ought to get up and go wake up the baby. But then the next thought in his mind is, well, why isn't she getting up to take care of the baby? I have to work. She's being lazy. And he starts putting her into a box, putting himself into a box, and making himself out to be better than she is, that she's worthless, she's so lazy, she's not a good mom, she's not a good wife. If she was a good wife, she would let him sleep because she knows that he needs to get up and go to work the next day. And how dare she just lay there and sleep? And, just continues to put himself on a pedestal and push her down. And I know that we do this all the time, and I've recognized this in my own life. And anyway, if you're happening to struggle with any of these things, I highly suggest giving the book Leadership and Self-Discipline or The Anatomy of Peace a read. The Anatomy of Peace is more as in your home, in your family, whereas the Leadership and Self-Deception is more in the workplace. So depending on what you want, they kind of both have the same basic. But anyway, give it a read. I hope it helps improve your year and your life. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.